If there is one tool that I would recommend to any fisherman, whether you're brand new to the sport or you've been doing this for a long time, it would be this bad boy right there. Now, full disclaimer, Gerber did send me the Hemoplier a couple of years ago for free. They actually sent me the entire fish kit, which includes this Defender Tether and their controller folding fillet knife. And I'll touch on those two items in just a second. But they sent me those a couple of years ago. They didn't ask me to make today's video. They're not paying me to make this video. It's not a sponsored video, but I did receive these items for free, so take that for what it's worth. I wanted to make this video because I've been using this for a couple of years now. When they first sent this to me, I did sit down and make a review video real quick. I sat down in front of a GoPro and I've kind of upgraded my setup just a little bit, so I thought it would be fun to kind of show you guys the features a little bit better and tell you guys why this is still my favorite fishing tool that I love using. Let me start by kind of going through the features of the Hemoplier. Honestly, it's really straightforward, simple to use. It's not super high tech, but it is a really high quality tool. Gerber is really well known for their multi-tools, and I think that's what makes this tool so special, is it's really just one tool that does so many different functions for you while you're out fishing on the water, and makes it so you don't have to carry, you know, a tool for this or that or this. You just basically have one thing that you have to grab before you leave home, and then you're pretty well set up. So to start with, this is saltwater corrosion resistant. I live in Utah, so I mainly fish freshwater, but there's a saltwater lake that I fish every year, and I've used this there and I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. It's held up really well for me. You can see a little bit of wear and tear on there, but this thing basically still works like it did day one. So the best thing about this that I think, especially if you're fishing in cold weather, is it's spring loaded and it has this mitten style lock. So it's super easy to open and close. You just push down right there, it unlocks and it springs open, and then you can close it with one hand. So you're not trying to stick your fingers into, like, for example, hemostats, open those up. If you've got bulky gloves on, cold fingers, that can sometimes be difficult. So the mitten style lock on this is really simple, easy to use. The front of this here has this flat part here in the front. That's for pinching barbs. I mainly fish barbless. There's a few times I'm like ice fishing that I'll keep a barb on there if I want to keep bait or something on the hook. But most of the time I either tie barbless or I'll pinch the barb. So that nice barb pinching flat right there in the front is really easy, nice to use. There is kind of some teeth here. It gives you a little bit extra grip if you're trying to reach down into the fish's mouth and grab out the hook. It is kind of a needle nose shape, really nice and long. So if you're fishing for big fish and having to reach down there and grab your lure or your fly or whatever, then you can reach down into the fish's mouth really nice and easy. It does have a serrated portion back here at the back for cutting your line, so you don't need to keep a nipper or scissors or anything with you. That will cut your line right there. You can cut pretty heavy duty monofilament with this, or even braided line. This is just a pretty light braided line, but it cuts through that pretty nice and easy there. So the scissors make that really nice. It does have this little loop right here, and that's for tightening your line on your hook. I mainly fish a loop knot on most of my hooks. So for example, if I throw a loop knot on here, tie that up, and then cinch that down, so you kind of got your knot right there, and you throw your hook right there onto the front of it, and then you can pull that tight right there. So that's a really nice feature. You're not trying to hold the hook and sometimes jab yourself in the finger or whatever. That gives you a nice easy point right there that you can throw the hook onto and tighten down your knots nice and tight and snug right there, just like that. There is a flat portion right here in the center where you can pinch your split shot or whatever you're putting on there. One thing that kind of gets missed sometimes is that little file right there on the side. So you can take your hook and sharpen it. It's a pretty small area, but it works pretty well on the go to just quickly sharpen your hook. Right here On the back, you'll see that there's a little eyelet clearing spike. It's pretty heavy duty and does a good job of poking any line or anything that you might have in your eyelet to clean that on the go. It's nice that it kind of tucks away right there. I definitely have forgotten that it's sticking out there before and then gone to pinch that mitten style lock right there and jab myself in the hand. So it is pretty sharp. So as long as you remember to push that eyelet clearing spike down into its protected seat right there, then you don't run the risk of jabbing yourself in the hand. But I've definitely drawn blood before, so just make sure that you keep that tucked down right there so that you're not jabbing yourself. These have held up super well for me. Fishing with these for a couple of years now, they still open, close, just like they're supposed to. They're still nice and sharp. I haven't had anything break on them at all. So for using these pretty much any time that I go out fishing, which is quite a bit, probably too much if you ask my wife, these have held up super well. And I've been incredibly impressed with them. If you watch any of my fishing videos, then you'll pretty much see me using these all the time. I pretty much always keep these on me. It does have this little loop back here. You can use a lanyard if you wanted to put that on there. It's a little bit big, in my opinion, to put on a lanyard. If you use this Defender Tether, then it's got this little loop ring here on the front that you can slide through that little lanyard hook right there. And then if you're out on the water, then you've got that tether so that you're not worried about dropping that into the water whatsoever. This Defender Tether honestly has held up really well. You worry about these tethers, whether the line is going to fray or break or tear on you. Again, 2 years now, and that thing doesn't have any tears in it. It's not frayed whatsoever, and it still holds just like it did the very first day. It's got kind of the right amount of tension on it for these Hemopliers. If you have this on your chest or your backpack or something and you're walking, it gives a little bit of movement there, but it retracts it and pulls it right back up. I mainly keep these like in my fishing bag or whatever, and then when I get out to the water, it's got this little hook here on the back, and I just sit that right on the front of my wader. So it's always just kind of right here sitting in front of me. If I'm ice fishing, then I just sit that on my bibs or my jacket, wherever there's a little hook or anything that I can hook that onto. If I'm fishing on the boat, then I just hook that to the front of my life jacket, actually. So the Defender Tether, I think, is the best way to use this Hemoplier, because then you're not worried about dropping it, losing it, and then it's pretty much just always right there, ready to go. The Defender Tether does have this little loop right here that you can stick your finger in there if you wanted to extend it, retract it. I honestly just reach up and grab it, use it, reach down and pull the hook out of the fish's mouth or whatever, and then I let go and it pulls it right back up into the tether there. So super easy to use. Honestly, I think that's probably the best way to use this Hemoplier, or throw it in your pocket or whatever. You just never know when you're gonna reach over the side of the boat or bend down in the water and something falls out of your pocket. So I like to make sure that things are secured there and that that's not gonna fall off, or I'm not gonna lose it. It does have a little loop ring at the top that if you had a lanyard or a hook or something, you could put that onto that as well. It does have this little spike here on the back, so if you wanted to like put this through a fishing shirt or a jacket or something and then screw that into the back, you can do that. 100% honest, I've never used that aspect of the Defender Tether, and I just use these clasps, or I use the hook here, or I use the D-ring at the top. So it's by far my favorite way to get out and fish. This basically replaces hemostat, your nail nipper, any scissors. Some guys will have, like on their boat or something, a little slot that they can throw a hook in and tighten that down before they cast out their line with their hook or whatever. So that little loop right there to be able to tighten down your knot is really nice. All in all, it's just basically one fishing tool that, as long as you got this, you can do pretty much anything. The last piece of the fish kit is this controller fillet knife. This has got a really nice mirror polish to it. I believe it's a 6-inch blade. It's flexible, really nice and sharp, easy to sharpen as well. It's got this nice grip handle on here, really nice to control what you're doing with that fillet knife. This has been an excellent fillet knife. I like the fact that it's a folding fillet knife because I can keep that in my bag really nice and easy. The fact that the blade tucks in there. I don't worry about cutting myself or anything else that's in my bag. And then if I'm gonna use it, just pop that open and we're pretty much ready to go there. So this has the same Salt RX corrosion resistance to it. So whether you're using this in freshwater or salt water, this thing works really well and has been a great blade for filleting fish. So this entire fish kit, I believe, is a really good deal. They used to sell all these things individually, but I just checked right before making this video. And all they sell is the fish kit. I didn't see the Hemoplier individually on their website anymore, or the Defender Tether, or this fillet knife. But you can get these all together for a fish kit for a pretty good price. On their website, it's about $100. You can check on Amazon. Their price varies a little bit. Sometimes it's a little bit cheaper. I've noticed that Gerber does sales throughout the year, so this will go on sale occasionally. So if it's something that you're looking for, maybe just pay attention to their website and their sales and stuff. But overall, I've been super happy with this Hemoplier. I think this is one of the better tools that Gerber has made, even though all of their tools are awesome. I've been super happy with anything that I've got from Gerber. They do all come with a limited lifetime warranty, so if you have any problems with them, then you can reach out to them and file a claim. So I like buying from Gerber. I think they make good quality gear. And this is probably, like I said, the one tool that I would recommend to anybody who is expert or novice or anywhere in between to get for your fishing kit. I'll put the links to the fish kit down in the video description. Those are affiliate links, so if you guys buy something from those links, then I do make a small commission, which helps support the channel. But honestly, if you use them or you don't, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. I have fun making these videos, and the best way to support the channel is to watch these videos and share them and engage with them. So I truly just appreciate you guys' support on the channel. That means more to me than you guys going through these links and buying anything from there. So I love fishing. I love sharing these experiences with you guys. I love being out in nature, and I love sharing some of the tools along the way that makes that experience overall more fun for me. So if you guys appreciate that same kind of stuff, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, watch these videos, do all the YouTube stuff that helps the algorithm. But more than anything, I'm just grateful for your guys' support, and we're having fun. And I think that's what's most important. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in to this one. We'll see y'all next time.